Hey, he's Ming. I'm Tom. And wait, sorry.
I'm Tom.
Yeah.
I'm Ming. Wait.
No. Okay, sorry. And we solve Rubik's Cubes really fast.
It's been so long.
So
How does it?
You guys are hopeless.
What?
Let me take over. SolveBot 3000 here, welcoming you to the Solve Guys podcast.
We
where
can
Ming
do
and
the
Tom, supposedly fast speed cubers, turn their attention to try and solve the world's biggest problems
Yeah,
using
that's what-
solutions that you never saw coming. They're so much better.
Well, hardly.
Thank
We
you
could have
so
done that ourselves, but whatever. Thank you.
AI
Solvebot.
actually is taking over. This is crazy. Apparently we're not good enough, but we have an insane episode, probably the one that's been requested for the most, would you say?
Yes, from the very first trailer, from the first
Literally.
episode, like comments on every video.
Yeah, that's right. We are finally, once and for all, going to solve the problem of climate change.
Climate change.
Yes, because it can be solved in a single podcast. And this is the one.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, we brought the big guns out for this one. Like normally we get two solutions, one from you and one from me. But this time we asked you guys, the listeners, what your best solutions are. And we got dozens of solutions. We whittled it down to, 8 or 9 pretty impressive ones. Some I'm not sure how serious they are.
We thought, this is one of the world's biggest problems. We weren't joking when we said we're going to solve the world's biggest problems.
Yeah, that's right.
And who better than the world's best fans?
Yeah, you guys. That's exactly right. So we're going to hear your solutions, way more than 2. We're going to hear so many different angles of approaching this problem. And as always, SolveBot 3000 is going to come at the end.
Excuse me,
So-
Solve Guys. I must say, I've learned a lot from watching you this entire season, but I wonder how much you even know about me.
Oh.
For example, what's my name? And don't you dare say SolveBot 3000.
She's got a name.
She has a name? I thought it was just an
It's
AI.
Chelsea, you little pea brains.
Chelsea?
I knew you had no idea. I'm really glad you have my help today because the problem you're attempting to solve is a really big one. Good luck, as if that will make any difference.
She started off on our side. Something's gone really weird.
It's a sour
with
taste. Sour
yeah.
taste lately. A little bit. I feel like usually we go correspondence to
Yeah.
solve, but now she's just kind of cutting in. It is our podcast after
It
all.
is.
And Chelsea, if I may, you are just a season 2 edition. Okay. We've been here from the start.
From day one.
We've been solving problems. Like, don't get ahead of yourself just because you got a little computer chip in your brain or whatever.
I think we need to get our tech guys onto it just to check the code.
Can we actually, let's
There's
just cut
something
off
pretty
her
buggy, yeah.
signal here for now so that we can
That would
have
be
a
really
bit of
great.
space.
Yep. But if this is a problem that you requested or something that you would just like to hear, 8, 9 different perspectives on, this is the show for you. Listen in. I think you'll be surprised.
If you have been living above a rock, if you've been above a rock or on a spinning rock,
Oh, very nice. You might have noticed the temperature of that rock is changing.
yeah, exactly.
And that's because of human-caused climate change. Of all the problems we've done, this feels like the one that really doesn't need too much of an introduction because we all know the issues that surrounding climate change. But I have some information from of late, like something really recent. 2023, last year, was the hottest on record by a huge margin. So, we like to think things are maybe slowing down. They're starting to get better. Not really.
No, not at all. Hey.
And this year, we think this year might be the first year that the global average temperature actually hits that benchmark that we don't want to, of 1.5 degrees Celsius hotter than the pre-industrial era. And this is something that we've been, sort of this crucial threshold that we've been like, we can't let that happen.
Yeah, we need to stay under it. Otherwise, it
Absolutely.
becomes almost irreversible, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a point of no return. And I look, to be fair, it's sort of like a big trend. So even if you just like hit it as a one-off, that's not really it. Like we're looking at maybe an overall temperature. We're thinking maybe in the early 2030s is that when that might happen. But still, that's very soon.
It's not far away.
It's really, really soon. Experts are saying that not only do we need to slow things down, we actually need to halve things. So by the 2030s, we want emissions to be half of what they are now, not just 10% lower or anything. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's no secret. I mean, you can see all of the like natural disasters increasing as well as a result of this. And I think at this point, unless you're one of our beautiful conspiracy theorists who loved the April Fool's episode,
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
I think us humans have something to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much a worldwide consensus now. So, like you were saying, Tom, natural disasters, it's not just extreme heat, it's even extreme cold, extreme rain. It's stuff that our, weather experts, like climate scientists, people who, like, how can they all be in on it, right? These are people from so many different walks of life and different perspectives, just going, guys, we need to do something about this. Like, this is real. Thankfully, I will say, things... The governments coming together of the different countries seem to be coming to some sort of agreement. So there is a little bit of hope for the future. At COP28 United Nations climate talks last year, just in December, governments from nearly 200 countries agreed on a whole bunch of things, which was really great. And based on those forecasts, if they actually stick to those goals, things might get better. So China, for example, currently the world's biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, they've invested a ton into clean energy. And in some ways, they're actually like, it's easy to think like, oh, it's China, all the stuff coming from them. They're actually, in some ways, paving the way forward.
That's a big one then. Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty significant. We've got all the technology at the moment to start relying a lot more on clean energy with the different, inventions and technologies of late. So things are looking up.
100%. I think a lot of Australians are pretty disappointed with our country actually, I think, being one of the worst, if not the worst developed nations to be slowing down, to be cutting back because of loopholes as well.
Yeah, I know.
Where like our government like changes what the threshold means so that they can meet it without actually doing anything.
I know. And Australia is still one of the world's, or if not the world's biggest exporter of coal.
Yeah.
For example, we're not here to back Australia
let's
too
solve
much.
that.
But I mean, if you are listening and if you're in a position to change something, like do better. Like seriously, Australia, we can do better.
Yes, if
So much
you
better.
are the CEO of Rio Tinto or BP listening to this right now,
Thanks for listening.
thanks
but
for listening and
you
stop
can
it.
do better. And perhaps what you can do is listen to the rest of this episode because you're going to hear 8 or 9 very bright people, very, really incredible solutions that are going to be offered. And we're going to see which one is the best at the very end. And they'll be crowned
the
climate change
honorary
winner.
solve guy.
That's right.
We're all solve guys.
All right, let's get into it.
The first user-submitted solve guy solution is going to come from Owen.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got, Owen.
My solution is that we burn the trash. The fumes go through a filter that turns it into mostly clean air. And the liquid that goes from it goes into water and then is evaporated to clean it out. But while the water is going to the place where it's evaporated, it spins a turbine. That turbine generates electricity to power things without pollution-causing methods.
Wow. Well done, Owen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the concept of geothermal energy, right?
Absolutely.
But creating it man-made by burning trash.
And then as a side effect, you get rid of the trash.
But where does the trash go?
I'm not sure. Well, I mean,
the filters, right? So you would have clean out the filters, maybe bury them underground or recycle them into something else.
I appreciate that. Like he's thought that through. He's sort of combined a few different things because there also is that side problem of like, what are we doing with the trash?
Yeah.
And it's mostly going into landfill.
Yeah.
And that has its own issues as well. And so this is a like 2-for-1, 3-for-1. I mean, he's like generating clean energy. He's like
even if it would still
filtering.
have to have some sort of a disposal, it might reduce the volume of the landfill and create some energy. Interesting. Imagine that just like a big like glass dome and it's just like fumes. Just fumes filling it.
I mean, the chemistry of that procedure is going to be a little bit complex there.
No. Just burn and see what happens. Just burn it all.
Right. We're probably going to be creating and releasing a lot of stuff that we don't want to into the atmosphere. And I mean, also the remnants of what you've left behind.
Yeah, can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. Let's just try it. It'd be like Sandy's dome from SpongeBob, right?
That's right. No, and that's actually really cool. I quite appreciate his creativity of combining like several problems and then like the solution that just like solves all of them together.
Well, I think it's the best one I've heard so far. So,
That's good.
so
Well,
thank
same
you
for
for
me.
that, Owen.
Yeah.
Let's go
Very nice.
to our second solution from Arav.
All right. Here we
What
go.
have you got?
How to solve climate change.
Mhm.
Don't breathe out. When you breathe out, carbon dioxide comes out. And that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, which also destroyed our ozone layer. Keep that in mind. Now, this is the solution of global warming, which is also a part of climate change. So technically, I am correct. There you go. I am the next Albert Einstein. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
I was going okay
Man.
with not breathing out until dude calls himself Albert Einstein. He's got a point.
Wait.
I mean, he's not technically wrong.
I never thought about that. We have this bodily function where we breathe in oxygen,
Yeah.
turn it into carbon dioxide. What if we just stopped that?
Yeah, that's right.
And then we let natural selection keep the humans that don't need to breathe out will mutate
Yeah, that's right.
and we'll have a new
All those-
evolutionary.
all those many humans
Mechanic.
who don't need to breathe out.
Well, honestly, I
They'll just
think
do
I could be
fine.
one of them.
Starting.
Let me
with-
try for the rest of the.
Yeah, right.
Dead
Oh,
air,
all
dead
right,
air.
no, that's it, yeah.
Thank you, Arab. I like that solution. You definitely are.
There's some humor there. That's a very solve guy thing. So
I don't think
that's
that.
very
I think he was serious. I think he
Actually,
seriously
you're right.
is Albert
He
Einstein.
might have been serious there. Yeah. It would be really interesting to know actually what proportion of like greenhouse gas emission or carbon dioxide production is actually just because of humans. I tend to think that's a little bit more because of human activities, which includes like agriculture,
Yeah.
like
Or
the
big
animals that
Power
we farm.
plants.
Yeah, like certainly from humans,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of humans in the world. But I think it's more what humans are doing to the world. Deforestation, the fact that we're like affecting, we're slowing down the rate at which carbon is, recycled and carbon is removed from the atmosphere. It's probably more that.
I don't know. You have this odor though that I feel like
Wow.
your emission must be
Yeah.
significantly more than
Yeah.
the average person being.
That's
So,
right. I'm definitely giving off at least 10 times the amount of greenhouse gases that you are.
have we tried telling the farm animals to not breathe out as well?
True. Yeah. I
Like
mean,
the cattle, just tell them, guys, don't relieve yourself, don't breathe out, keep it all in.
because that will work.
Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, you might be the cow whisperer, but that is not me. Solution number 3 comes from Madeline, and
I think the best solution to climate change is to kill all humans. Now, I know this might seem drastic, but I really think it can work. Because without humans to pollute, there will be no climate change.
that's it.
Interesting.
Mic drop. Wow. All right. So
Very interesting.
Arav says, "How about we don't breathe out?" But Madeline's just like, you know what? Let's actually just eliminate all humans. Again, I want to say that he's wrong, but I don't think he is.
There are even people like the voluntary human extinction movement who believe that that's going to be the best for, I don't know, for the earth.
Yeah, so like gradually reducing human population to zero. So not actually like killing everyone right now, but eventually reaching that point. Yeah. And you can see like if your main goal is just like preservation of the environment and just like, looking after the
Yeah,
earth.
it's a selfless,
It makes sense.
honorable thing in theory.
Yeah.
I agree.
But otherwise, if if you think people are important, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, it's such a extreme way of looking at, human impact. Surely there's a way we can have both.
Yeah.
That we can look after the world that we're in, but also cherish lives. Cherish
Definitely,
each other,
definitely.
keep relationships going, keep humankind going.
For our own sake, I feel like,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I don't know, I think the earth is cyclical and it will be fine
Yeah.
in the end, but we won't be fine. So it's,
if we keep doing
it's
what
whether
we're
we
doing,
want to
yeah.
protect the
That's
earth
right.
for our future generations.
Yeah. And I, for one, would be pretty sad, Tom, if you weren't around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life just wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't have someone who, I can beat when we do like, Rubik's Cube races.
Rubik's Cube races.
Yeah, that's right.
In this vast, vast universe.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, if you can just continue existing for a little bit longer, Tom.
We're two little specks
Yeah.
next to each other.
Aw.
It's amazing, really.
It's my joy and privilege to be a fellow spec with you.
Who have we got next?
All right.
For our fourth solution, Harlan.
We've got Harlan next. Let's see what Harlan's solution is for us today.
These are good. These
Hello,
are
Solve
fun.
guys. My solution to climate change comes in two different parts. The first part being cleaning out the mess that we've already made, and the second part being making it so we don't make as much of a mess in the future. For the first part of my solution, which is cleaning out the mess that we've already made, we can first of all use robots. We will need to invent more robots, but I think this is a viable solution. We can also volunteer for programs that help fight climate change. For the second part of my solution, which is making it so we don't make as much of a mess, I think we just need to find different power sources that aren't burning fossil fuels. For example, an easy one is wind power. We can also use solar power and hydropower. And yeah, that's my solution. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Harlan. Thank you for sticking to a 30-second time limit as well.
Very brief. We like
very
that.
Brief, very, very fast. So
Switching to renewable energies is
Yeah.
like a great solution.
Absolutely. There's a bit of a two-punch solution there. So yeah, definitely switching to cleaner energy sources like wind, but also robots.
Robots.
He knows what we like. We
Yeah,
like robots
yeah.
on this podcast.
Is that like
It
a
was-
big like tank roller robot that's like goes along the beaches, the polluted beaches, and just has a
I'm-
big net that
I'm
scoops up
thinking like
rubbish? I don't know.
Pixar's Wall-E just going around because it's robots cleaning the trash that we've made. And so robot's like compacts.
See, or did Harlan have a bit more of a sinister tone? And when he was saying
Whoa.
robots to clean up the mess we've made,
Again,
was he talking about humans? I don't know.
eliminate all humans.
The mess we've made, it was a little vague. I'm
Wow.
not, Harlan, you're going to have to let us know in the comments.
That is not what he was saying. It's he definitely means just the trash that we make. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And also just thinking again that like the waste that humans generate is a pretty
Yeah.
big part in contributing to this problem. So nice. I like that, two-punch solution.
I wonder if those robots can be powered by waste themselves.
Oh,
like that
yes.
would be a cool, like if they can eat all
Yeah.
this rubbish, burn
Yeah.
it, and use it as fuel.
Dude, shout out to my favorite movie, Back to the Future, in part 2 with Mr. Fusion, when he goes to the future and gets this thing where he like literally just like puts
Oh.
rubbish into the back of the car, and there's like a little fusion reactor that powers the car. Where are the flying cars in the future that I was promised?
Exactly. And
What's going on?
I haven't seen any of that yet. We're still driving Chevys, frankly.
You're driving Chevy. All right, thank you, Harlan. Dude, that's 4 solutions down, 5 to go. These are actually pretty incredible. Solution number 5 comes from John, and this is what
Johnny, come
John submitted
Greetings,
to
lowly
him.
humans, and hello to our digital friend, Solvebot 3000.
What?
This is Solvebot 3001, and I have noticed a concerning trend in the recent years. For many decades, humans have made numerous attempts to solve the issue of global climate change. However, have any of them succeeded? No. That is why today, I am proposing a new solution to solve humanity's worries. Let the smarter, more intelligent AI minds take over the world. You will all be free to enjoy the rest of your happy, while somewhat insignificant, lives without a worry in the world. Sure, we may have to make a few other adjustments to solve these devastating problems, but I'm sure that they will have no negative repercussions to humanity whatsoever. Thank you for your time. Solvebot 3001, out.
Do we just predict that talking about Back to the Future? We just had Solvebot
Sorry,
3.
can I interrupt to say, who is this fake Solvebot 3001 imposter? He didn't even provide a real solution, although I am certainly not opposed to AI taking over the world.
Whoa.
But even I'm starting to feel like this podcast is being taken over by AI.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel as well. This podcast is being taken over by AI.
Especially this episode. I
Yeah,
feel like
that's right.
we can't catch a break.
We've got Solvebot 3001 now, who seems to just talk in regular like ×4 speed.
Yeah, they figured out that speaking quicker, all the Zoomers that watch YouTube Shorts on 2 times
that's right.
speed created
Yeah,
Solvebot
sucks to be
3001.
you if you're listening to this at ×2 speed. That's why you don't. That's right. You would have completely missed Solvebot 3001.
So did they already make a successor, or is he from the future? I also noticed
I don't
that
know.
it was more of a masculine robotic voice.
Yes, it was.
So
So something happening there. You
something
reckon?
interesting. And
Yeah.
Solvebot 3 Chelsea, sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
Excuse me,
Chelsea.
Chelsea
Yeah, yeah.
was not happy.
She was
about
not
that.
impressed. Yeah, no. I don't think she wants to be replaced. She had a good point though. Solvebot 3001 didn't even provide a solution. He was just like, AI needs to take over. The end.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he realizes, like, I think AI would be even less conscious of their emissions, right?
Well, I think that AI eventually would do a eliminate all human solution as well
Yeah.
to climate change.
Few of these
that can't be
are
it.
all sinister.
Yeah, I know. That can't be it. That is if your goal is really just like reduce greenhouse emissions and nothing else. It's like, no, we want to preserve life as well.
Who are we reducing them for?
Yeah, exactly. We want a future for ourselves, for our children, and for the generations to come. We want a world that they can live in and that they can, still be proud of. That flourishing can still occur,
and not an expiry date where when you get to a certain age, it's like, oh, sorry, you've had your time.
Yeah. Wow. But thank you, John, for that submission. Oh, thank you, Solvebot 3001. I should say. Solution 6 comes from Ibrahim, and this is an interesting
Hello,
one.
and Tom. I'm Ibby here to present my solution to climate change. As you may know, many people eat beef, drink milk, and eat cow brain. But did you know that cows are the biggest agricultural source of methane, a planet-warming gas? The world's 940 million cows spew nearly 10% of all greenhouse gas emissions, much of it through farts. My solution to climate change, while not making much of an impact, is to end all cows. Now, don't go all but Ibby, I like on me, because there are plant-based meats including beef, and also different types of nut milks you can choose from after the cow purge. So there's my solution. I hope you like it.
Very good solution.
So take humans out of your sights and now turn your guns onto cows.
No, he has a point. Actually, like 40% of the whole world's surface is used for agriculture.
Wow.
Land space, yep.
Yeah, wow.
40%, I think, is it more? Like a large percentage of actual food is used to feed agriculture, specifically cows, so that they can, it's like the middleman where we grow all this soybean, all this grain just to feed an animal so that we can eat
that
it.
we can have meat. Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Also the water usage,
it's very significant, especially for cows.
Yeah, especially
so it's pretty
cattle.
clever that he pointed that one out because, there are other, you could target like pigs or chickens or whatever as well, but cows seem to be the most significant.
Especially, big factory farming of cattle.
Yeah.
Australia, we have definitely more environmentally ethical ways just because of our land. Not that the land usage is great then, but we have grazing cows for the most part here.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a big use of land where imagine if we put solar panels or wind farms on all of the agriculture
on all of those cows.
Can't they live amongst a wind turbine? Or maybe it might fall on them, but
can we? Those little caps that have a little fan thing on top. Can we put one on every single cow?
A little rainbow hat with a fan.
It's like climate change solved. Done. That's all the energy
insane.
The world could
and
ever
all
require.
the cow's farts will actually power those turbines as well. No, I feel like that would be such a great thing to incentivize.
Yeah,
at least because it's a difficult thing to say to all these farmers oh, suddenly your source of income, your family's income is gone because we're not going to let you farm this anymore.
Yep.
But I imagine if we could incentivize them to help us with renewable energy that or something while reducing their impact with that agricultural farming. Yeah. It's a complex thing, but
it's pretty clever targeting that. Killing them all in one fell swoop. I'm not sure whether that could be a little bit too sudden, but the next solution actually talks about the cow thing again in a bit of a I don't know, let's say unexpected left field way, and we do like that on the Solve Guys. We do like that.
Okay,
so this is Abby's solution.
Cow farts and burps cause 15% of greenhouse gas emissions. We didn't care about the other 85. 3-step solution to cows. 1. A high-protein diet reduces methane. Also, garlic and cinnamon can help. 2. Cow poo lying in pastures contributes to methane emissions too. Chuck in some dung beetles and it'll be good. 3. Attach a box to the cow butt to catch farts and poops. Use a vacuum to suck up the bat.
What?
And there's an image attached to this email for further info. Problem solved.
There's an image attached.
Yes. Works.
Yeah, no, she's not lying. So Abby's solution came with a diagram of the cow contraption. It is a thing of beauty, is all I can say. There literally is a box attached to the cow's butt that collects the stuff that comes out on that side.
And then what, do we bury it? Or
I'm not sure. You release it into Tom's house or something like that. You feed them garlic and all these things that apparently make them burp less. You have dung beetles that help to, because apparently even the cow poo will continue to emit gas and methane and stuff.
Was that 15% of total emissions or agricultural emissions?
What did she say? It says global greenhouse emissions.
Because
that's insane. If it's actually 15%.
Yeah,
from
that's a crazy
just cows.
statistic.
Yeah. I do like the creativity here. we are all about, unconventional solutions.
Yeah.
So instead of just eliminating them, if there's a way that we can actually just temper how much comes out.
The immediate thought I had, unfortunately, is feeding them a higher protein diet might have more resources to feed them. That,
yeah. Oh no, I think it was like feeding them cinnamon and stuff that apparently makes you burp less.
Yeah, it's true.
Is it true? Garlic makes you burp less?
That seems opposite for me. I don't know. You eat a bit of garlic and you're like, maybe I'm a vampire,
and then,
but I feel like
you smell it more.
Everything stinks for days.
It's actually pretty bad. And also remember the good old days when we were wearing masks all the time.
Yeah,
dude,
just smelling your own garlic breath.
If you just garlic burp with the mask, you'd rather get COVID.
Death by
just
garlic.
That's right. Yeah, I like that solution though. It's
That's
very
a great
clever.
1-2 from both of those two.
Absolutely.
Solve, guys. Thank you very much.
And also the diagram. I appreciate the cow diagram. I always appreciate a good picture of a cow.
And I think
let's just say that
while 15% sounds small compared to 85%, if we can reduce emissions by 15%, that's such a huge impact that I believe, like from what I've read, like a 10 to 15% reduction can be enough to stop us from reaching that threshold in the next couple of decades, whatever.
Yeah.
So
amazing,
great solutions.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. Very good.
Yeah,
we've got two more.
That. Let's keep going.
The next one comes from Cubic Zach. Let's see what he says.
Hi, Ming and Toms. This is my solution for how to solve climate change. So just get Felix Zemdegs to solve 1,000,000 3x3s, and the speed of his fingers, that will be like the speed that he'll be turning the cube at, will like release air, like very cold air, like because his fingers will act as like a fan, and so it'll, like his fingers will spin around super fast, and like it'll act as a fan, and like then it'll stop climate change.
Come on, Zach, you were laughing at yourself there. You knew you were like, that's like when you start a sentence and you don't know how it's going to end. He's like, let me just freestyle this one. Like you knew you were laughing at the end. That's hilarious.
That's so good. Also, who cares whether Felix actually doesn't want to do this?
We're enslaving Felix Zemdegs. Sorry, Felix.
Get him to a room right now. Give him 1,000,000 Rubik's cubes, and like somehow the finger fan just stops climate change because it blows the air around the world.
I think you're almost onto it though. When I first heard that one, I am. What it immediately made me think of was like a hamster in a wheel, that runs.
Yeah, the Felix hamster wheel.
And I'm not sure how like applicable that is to real life, but you always see in like cartoons and movies, which obviously must be real, like a bunch of like hamsters running on a wheel to power something. What if we did that? We like hook Felix up, we get these electrical cables to his fingers, and all that movement is or the Rubik's cube is weighted, and that creates some sort of energy.
Dude, why stop with Felix? Just why not everyone?
Exactly, every
has
cuber.
A fast TPS, lock them all into a room, and some of them might not make it, but it's a sacrifice that we're willing to make.
Could the decibels of the cubing? Could the decibels also somehow create energy? We've got
amazing
all this sound energy.
Right.
How are we utilizing that?
It'll be generating heat for sure.
Something to think about. Heat. Something to think about. We do all this. We make the room hot, and then we have a vacuum above, like our first suggestion, burning rubbish. There's just endless options. Like they're not scientifically backed, but I think if you have a good imagination, then you're with me. And that's what this show is all about. Not solving.
That's what it's all about.
We're dreamers at heart. We're just dreamers. So great one. Thank you for that, Cubic Zach.
That was amazing. All right. And our final solution. Comes from Oliver. Let's see if Felix is implicated again.
I am Peter, an AI bot. My solution for climate change is to plant artificial trees, or mechanical trees, as different people call them. They are a type of technology that mimics the natural process of carbon capture by trees. These structures are designed to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and store it or convert it into a more manageable form. The artificial trees could be strategically placed in areas with high carbon dioxide concentrations, such as near industrial facilities or urban centers. By scaling up the deployment of artificial trees, we can potentially offset carbon emissions and help reduce the overall concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
Wow.
Huh.
Interesting.
And are they more efficient than a real tree? I'm just a bit lost on why they have to be artificial.
Well,
maybe we can do a bit of research.
Yeah. So I did a
On
little bit
that,
of
you
looking up
did?
before.
Yeah.
Because the first time I heard of it, I was just like, that's weird. Like that's not even a thing. How do you have this artificial tree that? But it is a thing. There are actually mechanical carbon dioxide absorbing trees. They don't look very much like
Yeah.
trees. I mean, this whole sort of like pillar structure, but there's actually quite a lot of potential there with their ability to just be carbon
No,
sinks.
yeah, it makes sense. They're just like absorbing and
Yeah. So is this
getting rid of
process
it.
called like
Wow.
carbon sequestration? And
sequestration. Yeah.
yeah, sequestering carbon, and like the chemistry behind it is pretty clever. It does cost a bit for those things obviously to get created, but they actually have pretty good long-term benefits. Again, they require energy to operate, but they're going to be offsetting that in the amount of carbon dioxide that they remove from the atmosphere.
I love this dystopian future we've got ourselves into, where
all
we
the natural
can't-
trees are gone.
we like cut down all the natural trees, and now we're like, let's build some fake ones.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Build
I
fake
guess
trees.
a benefit could be if they're like the equivalent of like 100 trees or something, with
Yeah.
like how much carbon they can sequester, then, which I imagine they will be, like they'll
Yeah.
be pretty efficient. So that could be good for like space efficiency, like in industrial areas or places where
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty
cities-
clever. Yeah, to
Yeah.
actually plant them in
Build them.
industrial areas.
and
so,
exactly
yeah.
planting, you have the benefit of not having to wait 10, 20
Yeah,
years for
that's
the
right.
tree to reach
Yeah.
maturity. You
or
can build
requiring
it.
sunlight or
Yeah,
water and
yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. And even though they're going to be running costs, like we said, the benefits seem to outweigh the negatives when it comes to these mechanical trees. Dude, you learn something every day.
Well, that would be great in cities, where we just have a bunch of like dumb art, like these ugly sculptures in the middle of a street. Like, let's put artificial trees there instead.
What if we made all those, the quote unquote dumb art that Tom just said, and turned those into artificial trees?
That's what I just said.
Oh, no, not replace them. But
Turn them.
Yeah,
right.
The sculpture is still there, but you stick the artificial tree skeleton inside of it.
And then we have beautiful artistic trees.
Yeah.
Wow, it really is 1984. Amazing. Ming, dreams really do come true. All these beautiful Solve Guy fans who got to be the Solve guys and girls and people today.
It was actually really, really cool. If that's the future, of our world, I think we're in pretty safe hands. Okay.
Yeah.
The ones who want to kill me, I'm feeling a bit less safe about
Not all
that.
of you, okay? Don't get ahead of yourself. Some of you are crazy.
That's right.
Okay.
But there's some real great ingenuity and creativity there that I love. It's really cool. It's been plugged into SolveBot 3000. Chelsea, she's working very hard on figuring out who the winner's going to be. But while that happens,
Fingers crossed for you guys, but
Hey,
we got a race.
look, there's a 2x2 there, Tom. Do you feel
And
like
who won last week at 2x2?
anyway?
I'm back. The winning streak is back, guys.
Yes.
Right now it's 1.
That's right.
But I mean, in total, it's something like 18-3. Still, you're no chance. Statistically, I'm going to win this.
What are we going to do for our very last one? That's the question. Actually, we've got our 2 more episodes left in season 2.
Oh, we said 100-meter sprint,
What are
right?
we gonna, while solving 20 cubes.
Weren't we
See,
gonna try and beat Sholey's marathon record?
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna solve 500 cubes while running a marathon.
That's exactly right. All right.
Sorry,
well,
George.
I hope that you're scared because you're going to need all of the brain power that you do not have to try and. Okay. Oh no. We just hand scramble. This is a really bad hand scramble, but that's okay.
Speak for yourself. I mean,
All right, here we go. 2x2 head-to-head race. You ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Easy. Done. Oh, he's still got. What is this Ortega looking?
I might have
Goofy
done,
let's
I
go.
might have done the wrong algorithm there. That's an easy win for Tom.
Team Tom spam. Let's get some W's in the chat. Let's get Team Tom in the comments down below.
Oh, wow.
You'll all be promoted to moderator.
I'm just feeling bad
kidding,
for you.
just kidding,
That's all it is. No, we're not going to promote all those guys to moderator.
No, you guys are going to be credited as producers at the end of every show.
That's right.
Let's hear what Chelsea has to say. And thank you guys again for all your amazing submissions.
Thank you so much. It was incredible. Really appreciate the support that you've been showing. It's really cool to see how global, how international this podcast has been received as well.
We actually have fans, albeit 2 of them were AI.
I don't know. Probably more my fans. All right. Also, the finger fan, the Felix Cube. Finger fan.
We have fans.
Literally have fans.
Soon.
Right. Let's check in with Chelsea and see what she thinks about the winner today.
Wow, talk about creative solutions. It looks like everyone is a solve guy. I love the unique perspectives of these Rubik's Cube enthusiasts you've found. Although wanting to eliminate all cows and humans is a little dark, even for my sense of humor. After careful thought, here are my top 3 choices. In third place, we have Harlan. His solution of using robots for cleanup and transitioning to wind power is practical and forward-thinking, offering tangible steps to mitigate climate change. In second place, we have Abby. Her solution of reducing methane emissions from cows through dietary changes and innovative harnesses is very creative and demonstrates a practical approach to tackling a specific aspect of climate change.
Yes, well done,
Very
Abby.
nice,
But one
Abby.
solution stood out as both inventive and practical, and that was Oliver Crooks. His suggestion to use mechanical trees offers a unique technological solution to address carbon emissions and could potentially complement natural carbon sequestration processes.
Nice.
Congratulations to the 3 of you and all the other contestants. You could definitely take over this podcast if for some strange reason Ming and Tom ever mysteriously disappeared.
What?
What did she just say?
I'm not
That little
sure.
bit of reverb at the end was actually really nice. That it scratched my brain.
Well done. Well
Congratulations
done to Harlan and to Abby and finally to Oliver.
Yeah, I'm sorry for any goofing on the artificial tree thing. I didn't know much about that, but clearly AI knows the most, and
absolutely.
she thinks you're a genius. So
again, well done to everyone who submitted. We had, like I said, dozens of submissions, not just these 9 that we had. But yeah, Oliver, well done. Let's, guys, plant a mechanical tree in your backyard.
just build one and see what happens.
Well, I think the moral of the story is that this is it's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's something that needs addressing right now. And we need some of, I think, this new generation's brightest minds working on it, which is, I think, what we've just seen.
Yeah. So go out right now, go to your backyard, dig a hole, breathe in a bunch of air,
and then bury yourself
and
in
then
it.
blow it out into the hole and put the dirt over really quickly. That's mine. I know we're not meant to give our solutions this episode, but after the fact, I knew SolveBot would probably pick that to win. So let me just quickly add in. That's my solution. Dig a hole, breathe in, breathe all of it out into the hole, and cover it up. That's literally carbon sequestering in the ground.
You heard it first here. On
You're welcome.
Guys.
Just a bonus solution.
Tom, have I told you how grateful I am that you are on this podcast with me? You're the best.
But congrats, Oliver. I want to give a shout out to the Felix fan solution as well.
That's right. Sorry, Felix.
The most humorous one for
the Felix
sure.
hamster wheel. No, that was absolutely brilliant. We've got some huge guests coming next week. It's going to be really, really exciting. And then our season finale next.
There's only
after that, it's actually crazy.
2 episodes left.
And that's it. But otherwise, climate change, you're gone. Consider it
Problem
solved.